For worksheet 12, we're going to be looking at an example of when we might use the standard form of a line or of a linear equation, which is ax plus by equals c. Okay, so in this example, and they do a lot of these on end of course. They like these equations, so I have to take a look at how this goes here. So it says here she has $10 bills or $20 bills. So Miriam has $140 altogether. So 140 is going to be her total. And I'll save and write that in just a second. But she's got $10 bills or $20 bills, or some of each. Write an equation that represents Miriam's total as a function of the number of $10 or $20 bills. Let x equal the number of $10 bills and y equal the number of $20 bills. So, if we have x as the number of $10 bills, what goes in A? That's going to be how much each bill is worth. So a $10 bill is worth, of course, $10 times the number of $10 bills, plus y is the number of $20 bills, so B is how much each $20 bill is worth, which is 20. And then all together, it's got to equal $140. Okay, so when y is 0, when I have 0 $20 bills, how many $10 bills do I need? So we've been doing problems like this. We have when y is 0, this goes away, and we're left with the equation 10x equals 140. We divide both sides by 10. We get x is 14 $10 bills. Okay? So when x is 0, this goes away, and we have just this part of the equation. So we get 20y equals 140. Divide both sides by 20. We get y equals 7. So now we have to graph this equation. So we've got 2 points. That's all we need to graph a line. It's 2 points. Now actually, this is going to go off a little bit here. So when y is 0, x is 14. Goes off here just a little bit. So this is 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay? And when x is 0, y is 7. 6, 7. So, what's the x-intercept? The x-intercept is 14, or it's 14, 0. And what's the y-intercept, which will be b in our equation in slope-intercept form? So that's going to be 7. What is the slope? All right, so the slope is change in y over change in x. So we need our 2 points here. So we have 2 points. We have when y is 0, x is 14. When x is 0, y is 7. So this goes up by 7, and this goes down by 14. Change in y over change in x is 7 over negative 14. And divide both of those by 7. So my slope is negative 1/2. So now I'm going to actually use this to draw my line much better. So I'm going to go down 1 over 1, 2, down 1 over 1, 2, down 1 over 1, 2. There we go. So from the graph of the line, write the equation in y equals mx plus b form. Now we could have done everything like we did on the last one and just change this equation into slope-intercept, but because we know the slope and we know the y-intercept, we can just go ahead and write this. It's y equals negative 1/2 x plus 7. All right, now the last part of this says to list all possible combinations of 10 and or $20 bills that Miriam could have. List as ordered pairs. So if x is 0, y is 7. If x is 1, actually we don't have that combination because there's no possibility of x being 1 and y being something, because it just doesn't work out to $140. So when x is 2, y is 6. Remember, x is $10 bills and y is $20 bills. So when x is 4, y is 5. When x is 6, y is 4. So look, each time a $20 bill goes down by 1, you need to have 2 $10 bills. So we have 8, 3, 10, 2, 12, 1, and 14, 0. Alright, I'd like you to try the other ones on your own. I am going to go ahead and work them on here, but go ahead and pause and see if you can do it on your own and then check it with the video. So Sally has a number of dimes and nickels. The total is $202.10. Write an equation that shows the possible numbers of nickels and dimes. So we're going to say we have dimes and nickels. So I'm going to do a dime is worth 10 cents. And I'm going to use cents instead of parts of a dollar, so I don't have to use decimals. So I'm going to say X is dimes. I could use D and N here if I wanted to. A nickel is worth 5 cents. And all together they equal 210 cents. Write an equation that gives the possible combinations of dimes and quarters that will make 250. Alright, so we have a dime is worth 10 cents. I'm going to go ahead and use D and Q this time. And a quarter is worth 25 cents. And all together it needs to equal 250 cents. Alright, so to find if you have 5 quarters, how many dimes do you need? Actually, that doesn't work out. So we're going to have to change this. 4 quarters. If you were to put 5 on here, it wouldn't come out evenly and you wouldn't have an even number of dimes. I actually made a mistake on this. So if we try it with 4 quarters, if we put 4 where Q is, we'd have 10D plus 25 times 4 equals 250. 25 times 4 is 100. So 10D plus 100 equals 250. Then you could put this on one side in Y1. You could put this side in Y1 and this side in Y2. You're going to do this on the calculator and just see where they're equal, and that will be your number of dimes. Or you can go ahead and solve this, which I think is faster. If you get stuck, it's okay. Use calculator. 150 equals 10 D, divide both sides by 10, then you would need 15 dimes if you had 4 quarters. Alright? So I'm going to pause this and erase. Alright, all the possible combinations of 5s and 10s that'll make 100. This is the same thing. So 5s are worth $5. And 10s are worth $10. And all together they need to equal $100. Alright, to change this to slope-intercept, I'm going to write it down here again. We have room. We need to get y by itself. So we subtract 5x from both sides. Cancels over here. We can't combine anything here. So we just leave that alone. And divide both sides by 10. Remember, we have to divide everything by 10. And y equals 10 minus 5/10 x, but you can divide both of those by 5. So that's 1/2 x. Alright, so to graph that, our y-intercept, remember, it doesn't matter if we write it this way or we write it this way. It's the same, right? What's in front of x is the slope. What's by itself is the y-intercept. So we have 10, and we go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. And this would, by the way, be discrete. In other words, not a connected line, because a half of a $10 bill doesn't do you any good. We only have whole $5 bills and whole $10 bills. Okay? So that is worksheet 12.